Welcome back to the channel. Back on the old dually, trying to get this truck ready to go to C10 Fall Revival. It's a 1,000-mile road trip that we got to make in about 4 days. Now, I replaced the power steering pump on this unit last week, and I believe it has failed. Basically, when you're at a stop or when you're moving very, very slow, the truck is very difficult to steer and stop, but when you give it some gas and the engine RPM increases, it becomes significantly easier to steer the truck and to stop it. So we're gonna throw the old pump back on it, bleed the system, test it out, and see if that is the issue. This truck unfortunately missed Slamfest, which was a very fun show. I took the 67 C10, I got out there and back in 1 day with no issues, but I need this truck to be running and driving for C10 Fall Revival. This truck cannot miss that show. So let's hop right in. Well, first I gotta unbox the original pump. I packaged it up to ship it back for the core return, but I'm glad I drug my feet in sending it out. And I did get some flack for ordering parts from Rock Auto because they are cheaper parts, but I had a lot of people reach out to me and say that they've had a lot of issues with remanufactured and new power steering pumps. So I'm not the only one having these problems. So I have a theory on why these parts keep failing, because this is like the 4th part that's failed in this truck. I think that these parts were made or rebuilt years ago and have just been sitting on a shelf. So all the seals and everything inside just dry rots and deteriorates over time. And then by the time it's ready for you to put on, you do that first test and then it fails. Had a bad alternator, bad ignition coil, bad power steering pump, bad hydro boost. I mean, just multiple issues. So like I said, there was really nothing wrong with this pump. It's just a little dirty, so I'm gonna clean it up a little bit. I just replaced it for preventative maintenance because I thought that was the right thing to do at the time. First thing we do is take off our belt. Next up's the alternator. If you guys notice, I got Cookie Monster back. I'll be doing an update video on that one when we get back from North Carolina. That project has definitely not gone according to plan so far, which seems to be all of them. There's really only 3 bolts that hold this bracket on too. Well, I guess 5 if you count the top, the 2 that go on the top. There's 3 bolts that hold it to the block and the heads. And the bottom one's at 17 millimeter. Yep, there we go. Just got our turkey baster here. There's 2 return lines on this pump. One comes from the cooler, one comes from the Hydro Boost unit. So what I'm gonna do is clamp these off because I don't wanna lose any progress that we've made with flushing the system. So there's that one. Oh shit. I'm gonna disconnect the battery. Yeah, I was just testing the battery, making sure it was still good, you know. Well, check this out. I am glad I am doing this again because this is the signal line from the AC to one of the fan relays, and it looks like it melted to the header. Oops. Oh yeah, the wire's good, thankfully. How did it not melt that, dude? Well, I got very, very lucky on that one. Go ahead and put these plugs back on. It broke loose. So I saved the little plugs from the new lines. So when I pull this, I'll try to plug it as quickly as I can, which probably won't be very fast at all. Got that. We'll plug this line on the back of the pump. And this should be the last bolt down here holding this bracket on. That'll slide out. This is already disconnected. There we go. Man, it's like deja vu. So we got these 2 studs on the back of the power steering pump. Straight onto this one. Next, we will remove the power steering pump pulley. These pullers are great. I got mine on Amazon. Just bought the cheapest one. There we go. Go into place like that. Oh, I think that's it. Beautiful. So something I noticed with this pump, see how freely this spins? This shaft is not spinning at all. So there's definitely an issue with this pump internally. Here we go. All right. Let's get this bad boy back in here. Got our, make sure our seal's on there. You guys probably can't see a dadgum thing. Nice and snug. Okay. So next up, we're gonna do.
Daddy?
Yeah, bud.
Walker hit me.
Okay. Well, you guys need to figure it out. Okay. Slide this on. Boys, knock it off. They know they get in trouble when I have to stop working on my truck. What's next? Our alternator? Sorry, my phone overheated. So we got the truck up on a jack, so our wheels are off the ground, following the same procedure that we did when we were purging the system of air before. Before you even start the truck, you want to top off your power steering fluid reservoir, and then you want to turn your wheel 15 to 20 times to try to cycle out as much air as possible. And about every 5 times, you can stop and pump your brakes, because keep in mind, this truck has Hydro Boost. So just repeat this process over and over again until you think all the air's out. Then you could start the truck and do the same process before taking it on a road test. Heard some air come out. All right, I've done that about 10 times or so. Come in here and check our fluid. We still got a adequate amount of fluid in there. I don't see a whole lot of air in there. So now that I've done that cycle quite a few times, I'm gonna fire the truck up and repeat the same process. And then check out our reservoir again. Looking pretty good. Now on this part of the process, you don't wanna go lock to lock. You could reintroduce air into the system. And let's check the fluid level. Still looking good. Do that cycle a couple more times. Okay, man, it's like deja vu. I feel like I just made this video, only this time it's high stakes. I got the kids in the back. There's nothing like taking the kids on a road test to make sure your truck works. It's not sketchy at all. But you know what? Mama's not home and I gotta do this because we gotta hit the road in a couple days to go to North Carolina. So, first impressions. Backing out of the driveway, zero sound coming from the power steering pump. Seems to be operating normally. I'm gonna put some miles on it, hop on the interstate. I'm gonna do the same route that I did and see if the power steering pump gives out or starts acting up at about the same spot. But so far, I mean, this is feeling good. There was no issues with the power steering pump before this. I was just trying to do some preventative maintenance, but wouldn't it be crazy if you put a brand new part in, it immediately fails, and then you reuse a 30-year-old part and everything's fine? That makes sense. All right, this is about where it started acting up on both trips. Sorry, bud. Shushed. After this light, it definitely started acting up. They're still good. Brakes still feel good. Steering still feels good. Here, we're still feeling good. Can take the scenic route home. Well, I'm excited to report the dually is officially fixed. It was a bad power steering pump, and it's the fourth new or remanufactured part that I've purchased for this truck that has failed. I can't believe the luck that I'm having with these aftermarket parts. It really makes me want to LS swap this truck so the parts that are sitting on the shelf aren't sitting for so long. Also, I thought it would be easier to fix this truck keeping the original 454 and the original drivetrain, but it is actually pretty difficult to find parts for this truck. So let me know in the comments below, what should I do with this 454? Should I put a fuel injection system on it with some heads and a cam, or should I scratch the whole big block and go with a 6.0, or maybe do a Cummins 12-valve swap? Let me know what you guys think. But anyway, this truck is definitely making it to C10 Fall Revival, and I could not be more excited. I'm really excited to get to see you guys at this show, and it's the first time that I get to go to this one. There's supposed to be 2,000 trucks there. That's right, 2,000 GM trucks. Freaking crazy. Anyway, guys and gals, I definitely appreciate you hanging around and watching this one. I'll see you in the next video. All right, she needs a bath.